I took a sip of my latte, checked my phone, adjusted my collar, did all the things normal, non-anxious people do. Then the door opened, and my entire digestive system decided to file for divorce and move to another country. Because walking through that door, Luna. Not just any Luna, the Luna. The girl I met at a friend's birthday party 6 months ago. The one with the laugh that sounded like wind chimes and the ability to destroy me at bowling while making it look adorable. We went on 2 dates, 2 incredible dates. The kind where you lose track of time and suddenly it's 2 a.m. and you've told her your deepest fear is being eaten by a bear while camping and she doesn't even make fun of you for it. And then, I ghosted. Vanished. Disappeared. Pulled the most cowardly move in the modern dating playbook. No text, no call, no explanation, just silence so loud you could hear it from space. Why? Because I panicked. Because she was too amazing, and my brain, in its infinite wisdom, decided the best course of action was to self-destruct like a malfunctioning robot. And now she was standing in front of me, wearing a perfectly tailored black blazer that probably cost more than my monthly rent, holding a tablet like she was about to sign my death warrant. "Hi everyone," she said, her voice smooth and confident. "I'm Luna Chen, your new team lead. Some of you know me from the Chicago office. For those who don't, I've been with the company for 4 years, and I'm really excited to be heading up this department." The first day at my new job was supposed to be my redemption arc. Fresh start, clean slate. Nobody knowing about that one time I got way too drunk at the holiday party and tried to explain the entire plot of Inception to the CEO. Spoiler, he was not impressed. I woke up at 6 a.m., put on my best I definitely have my life together outfit, navy blazer, fresh haircut, the whole deal, and stopped at that overpriced coffee shop near the office because nothing says hire me, I'm competent like a $7 oat milk latte. I walked into the building like I was in a LinkedIn motivational video. Chin up, coffee in hand, absolutely ready to conquer the corporate world. Plot twist, the corporate world was about to conquer me right back. The HR lady, Karen, yes, actually named Karen, which felt like a sign, greeted me with the kind of bright smile that made me suspicious immediately. "Welcome aboard. Your team lead is finishing up a call, but she'll be here any minute to introduce you to everyone." Perfect. I sat down in the conference room with the rest of the team, about 12 people who all looked like they'd already decided whether they liked me based on my shoes. Judging by the glances, my shoes were controversial. Her eyes scanned the room. Then they landed on me. Time stopped. The air left the room. I swear I heard dramatic movie music in the distance. She paused, just for a heartbeat. One perfect eyebrow arched upward. Oh. That was it. One syllable, but it contained multitudes. It was the verbal equivalent of a slow clap. It held the weight of every unanswered text, every maybe he's just busy excuse she probably told herself, every late night confusion about why someone would just disappear. I wanted the floor to open up and swallow me whole. I would have accepted a small sinkhole, even just a crack big enough to hide my shame. The meeting happened, I think. Honestly, I have no memory of it whatsoever. My brain was running on a loop of existential dread and the haunting realization that I had, in fact, ghosted someone who now had direct control over my quarterly performance reviews. When the meeting finally ended, everyone filed out like normal human beings, except me and her. The door clicked shut behind the last person, and suddenly it was just us in the conference room. The air felt thick. My heart was doing parkour in my chest. Luna crossed her arms and leaned against the table, studying me like I was a bug she'd found under a rock. "Well," she said, "you're alive. I had theories, you know. Some of them involved you joining the circus. Others involved witness protection. I attempted a laugh. It came out like a dying seal. Surprise? I'm not in witness protection, just regular protection. From myself, mostly. She stared at me for what felt like an eternity. I counted the ceiling tiles. 19. There were 19 ceiling tiles. I might remember that forever. Then she laughed. Not an angry laugh, not a bitter laugh. Something worse, the kind of laugh that said she found this whole situation amusing, which somehow made it even more terrifying. "I cannot believe this," she said, shaking her head. "Of all the people in this city, of all the companies, of all the departments, you end up on my team. What are the odds?" I scratched the back of my neck, a nervous habit I've never been able to break. Statistically, probably pretty low. The universe clearly has a sense of humor. A cruel, cruel sense of humor. She tilted her head, studying me. So, the million-dollar question. Why? There it was, the moment of truth. I took a deep breath. Because I'm an idiot. She blinked. That's your answer? No, I mean, I ran my hands through my hair. Look, I really liked you. Those 2 dates were genuinely the best time I'd had in years. You're funny and smart, and you destroy me at bowling, and you eat tacos like a normal person instead of pretending to be on a diet, and that terrified me. Terrified you? Yeah, because I have this thing where whenever something good happens, my brain convinces me I'm going to ruin it eventually, so I might as well ruin it first. Take control of the disaster, be the architect of my own misery. It's a whole system, very dysfunctional, highly recommended if you hate happiness. She stared at me for a long moment. Then she sighed. Wow, that's actually kind of pathetic. Accurate, also pathetic. Both can be true. She uncrossed her arms and walked toward the door. I braced myself for the clean out your desk speech. Instead, she paused with her hand on the handle. Don't worry, she said, her voice softening just slightly. I'm a professional. I don't mix business with personal drama. Relief flooded through me like a tidal wave, until she turned back with a smile that was definitely too sweet to be genuine. However, starting today, your work life is going to get very interesting. I swallowed. Interesting how? She grabbed her tablet and started scrolling with theatrical slowness. Well, let's see. We just got 3 major projects from the West Coast office. High visibility, lots of late nights, really intense deadlines. Sounds challenging. Mm-hmm. She looked up with those dangerous eyes. And you're going to lead all 3. I choked. All 3? That's like a year's worth of work. 6 months, actually. She smiled sweetly. Think of it as late fees for the emotional labor I had to do convincing myself I wasn't the problem. I opened my mouth to protest, but she was already at the door. Oh, and welcome to the team. I have a feeling you're going to fit in perfectly. The door closed behind her. I stood there in the empty conference room surrounded by 19 ceiling tiles and the sudden realization that I had just become the main character in my own personal workplace rom-com. Except in rom-coms, this is where the guy wins her back. In reality, I had 6 months of soul-crushing deadlines ahead of me. But here's the thing I didn't expect. Seeing her every day, watching her run meetings like a boss, literally, catching her eating tacos at her desk during lunch, hearing that laugh echo through the office, it reminded me exactly why I panicked in the first place, because she was too good to be true. And this time I'm not running, even if it kills me, which, with these 3 projects, it just might. 6 months later, I survived, barely. There were nights I fell asleep on my keyboard. There were mornings I found coffee in places coffee should not be. There was that one time I accidentally emailed the entire company instead of just my team and had to sit through a very patient IT tutorial about reply versus reply all. But I survived. And somewhere between the late nights and the impossible deadlines, something shifted. Luna started bringing me coffee during our all-nighters. We'd order tacos together at 10 p.m. and pretend we were just coworkers fueling up for work instead of two people who clearly enjoyed each other's company. She stopped assigning me the worst tasks, started trusting me with the important ones, started looking at me differently when she thought I wasn't watching. Yesterday, after we finally submitted the lost project, she caught me by the elevator. She said, "You made it!" Against all odds. She smiled, that real smile, the one from our first date. "Dinner?" she asked. "My treat. Consider it a completion bonus." I blinked. "Like a date or like a performance review with food?" She laughed. "Figure it out on the way." And for the first time in 6 months, I didn't panic. I just pressed the elevator button and stayed.